Welcome back to Brutal Damage. Let's take a look at our Skorne force for today's match. Chris is running the Masters of War theme, which rewards taking Cataphract and Praetorian models in this army. Models disabled by a melee attack made by a Skorne warrior model in this army cannot make a tough roll and can be RFP'd, and Chris also gains +1 to his starting roll for the match. Today Chris is running Tyrant Xerxis, 1 Bronzeback Titan, a Titan Gladiator, and 1 Basilisk Krea. The only solo in this list is 1 Mortitheurge Willbreaker. Units start with a max of Cataphract Cetrati and Tyrant Vorkesh. This list also contains 2 min units of Cataphract Incindiarii, 1 min unit of Cataphract Arcuarii, a Tyrant Commander and his Standard Bearer, and finally, the Legends of Halaak. Now, let's look at what Khador is bringing to the table. Justin is running an out-of-theme list with Kommandant Irusk and a single conquest. Solos include 1 Ironfang Kovnik, 1 Lady Hunter, Kovnik Joseph Grigorovich, and Yuri the Axe. A unit of Widowmaker Scouts, a max unit of Ironfang Pikemen with the Officer and Standard, and a max unit of Winterguard Infantry with 3 Rocketeers and the Officer and Standard round out the Khadorian list. Khador wins the roll and chooses the right flank. The Skorne Battlegroup deploys centrally with Cataphract units on either side. Khador deploys in a similar fashion with a central battlegroup surrounded by units above and below. With everything deployed, let's get things started. Skorne, turn 1. The Arcuarii run up their full distance, followed shortly after by the Incindiarii. The Willbreaker runs behind the 2 Cetrati units. Krea activates next, and after walking up, is forced to use his Force Aura Animus, which gives +2 Def and Arm against range attacks to friendly faction models within 3 inches. Xerxis puts up Defender's Ward on the Cetrati and advances forward. Up next are the Cetrati, who receive the Shield Wall order. Thanks to Tactician from Xerxis1, they are able to move right through the Warcaster. The topmost unit of Incindiarii receive the Press Forward order and move up the board. The Tyrant Commander and Standard Bearer, as well as the Legends of Halaak, advance into the trench. The Bronzeback activates and runs his full distance. The Gladiator runs as well and ends up behind the Bronzeback. The Gladiator also drops 1 Fury thanks to the Bronzeback's leadership ability. Khador, turn 1. The conquest powers up and Irusk allocates no focus. The Manhunter runs up next to the forest. Yuri runs up and sits in the forest. The Widowmakers advance up next and look to take shots at the Incindiarii. The first Widowmaker takes a shot at the closest Incindiarii. Needing a 4 to hit, the shot connects and deals 7 damage to the Incindiarii, who fails his tough check. The next Widowmaker takes a shot at an Incindiarii in the trench and misses. The third Widowmaker takes a shot at an Incindiarii outside the trench and hits. At dice off 5 for damage, the Incindiarii takes 3. The final Widowmaker takes a shot at the wounded Incindiarii. The bullet connects and deals 6 damage, causing a tough check. The Incindiarii toughs and is knocked down. Irusk activates next, first giving special orders to the Ironfang unit. He also gives them Iron Flesh and puts up superiority on the conquest. Irusk then makes a full advance and casts Inhospitable Ground before ending his activation. The Ironfang Pikemen receive the Shield Wall order and make a full advance. Thanks to special orders from Irusk, the Ironfang Pikemen get to reposition 3, remaining in Shield Wall. The Ironfang Kovnik runs closer to the Pikemen. The Conquest runs just shy of 12 inches thanks to superiority, and gazes on at the Skorne force. Kovnik Joe gives tough to the Winter Guard and advances forward. The Winter Guard receive the press forward order and run up the board just outside the threat range of the Incindiarii. Only one Incindiarii was slain this turn. Let's see how Skorne retaliates. Skorne, turn 2. Xerxis pulls in Fury and upkeeps Defender's Ward. The Incindiarii activate first and make a full advance, preparing to fire upon the Winter Guard infantry. The first Incindiarii takes a shot at a grunt that is out of his range and misses. The shot deviates 5 inches to the fore and catches no one. The second Incindiarii takes a shot at the infantryman and needing a 6 to hit, misses. The AoE ends up drifting 4 inches to the 1, catching 3 Winter Guard infantrymen. Needing a 7 to break armor, the first Winter Guard infantryman survives. The second Winter Guard takes enough damage to trigger a tough check, which he makes. The third Winter Guard caught in the blast also takes enough damage to trigger a tough check, which is made again. All 3 infantry hit are lit on fire. The next Incendiary takes a shot at a guardsman out of range and drifts 3 inches to the 3, which catches no one. The final Incendiary takes a shot at the Winter Guard infantryman and misses. The shot deviates 2 inches to the 3 and catches 1 infantryman. Needing a 7, the shot does not crack armor, but the soldier is lit on fire. The Arcuarii activate next and make a full advance. One Arcuarii takes a shot at the Winter Guard. Needing a 6 to hit, the shot connects. The Weapon Master Harpoon breaks armor, and the tough check is failed. A second Arcuarii takes a shot at another infantryman and connects with a 6. The shot triggers a tough check, which is failed. The rest of the Arcuarii are out of range, so the Willbreaker activates next and runs up behind the Arcuarii. The second Incendiary unit activates next, and the one model that was knocked down forfeits his movement to stand up. The Incendiary in the back is out of range and misses, drifting 2 inches to the 1, clipping 1 Widowmaker. Rolling Snake Eyes for damage, the Widowmaker survives but is lit on fire. The next Incendiary lines up a shot at a Widowmaker and needing an 8, he misses. The shot deviates 6 inches to the 2 and clips no one. The last Incendiary misses his shot against the Widowmaker near the forest, and his shot drifts 4 inches to the 6. No one is caught in this blast. The Tyrant Commander and Standard Bearer shuffle up a little bit and give push to the limit to the unit of Cetrati, which gives them +2 speed. The Cetrati receive the Shield Wall order and advance up, preparing to take a charge from the oncoming pikemen. Basilisk Krea walks up into the rubble and is forced to use her Animus of Force aura once again. Xerxis advances up behind the Cetrati and gives them the battle plan of March, which gives them Pathfinder for 1 turn. The Gladiator gives himself Rush and advances through the rubble. The Bronzeback then scoots over behind the Gladiator. Two Winter Guard infantry were killed this turn. 4 Winter Guard infantry and 1 Widowmaker were also set on fire. Let's see how Khador fires back in their second turn. Khador, turn 2. Fire on the Widowmaker leader does not go out, and she dies. A different Widowmaker is promoted to leader. Fire does not go out on the Winter Guard grunt, and he dies. The next grunt passes his fire check, and it fizzles. Another Winter Guard fails his fire check and is killed instantly. final fire check of the maintenance phase is failed, and the Grunt is killed. Irusk replenishes his focus, upkeeps superiority, and allocates 2 focus to the Conquest, who also powered up. Irusk then advances up and places Battle Lust onto the unit of pikemen, as well as the March battle plan, and finally drops his feat. Irusk's feat gives friendly faction warrior models in his control range +2 to attack rolls, a 4-up tough, and the inability to be knocked down. Irusk then fires his sword cannon into a Cetrati. Needing a 7 to hit, the shot connects. At dice -11, Irusk boosts the damage roll and deals 6 damage, triggering a tough check, which is made. The Iron Fang pikemen activate next and issue a press forward order. The pikeman officer also used the defensive formation mini-feat, which gives the unit reposition 5 and they can end in shield wall. The pikemen that are not within charge range run and end in shield wall. The first pikeman takes his charge swing on a Cetrati and needing a 4 to hit, he connects. At dice off 9, the blasting pike causes 2 damage to the Cetrati. The Cetrati is not tough. The second pikeman misses his charge on double 1s. The next Iron Fang pikeman connects with a 9 and deals 6 damage to the Cetrati. This causes a tough check, which is failed. The fourth charging pikeman connects with a 9. Since this Cetrati is no longer in shield wall, it's dice -5, and a tough check is failed. The fifth charging pikeman now has no one in melee. The 5 pikemen who successfully completed their charge now get to repo 5 and remain in shield wall thanks to defensive formation. The Widowmakers activate next and advance up, making sure to stay within Irusk's feet. One Widowmaker takes a shot at the wounded Incindiarii. At Rat 9 under Irusk's feet, the shot connects, and thanks to Sniper, no tough check is able to be made. The Widowmaker leader fires a shot at another Incindiarii. Her shot connects, but at dice -5 does no damage. The last remaining Widowmaker takes a shot at the same Incindiarii and hits. At dice off 5 for damage, the shot bounces again. Yuri the Axe activates next and utilizes his Tree Walker rule to ignore force when determining line of sight to be able to charge the remaining Incindiarii. Yuri uses his Star Attack Thresher and needing not snakes connects with the first hit. At dice off 2, the charging weapon master deals 12 damage to the Incindiarii who fails his tough check. The second Thresher attack connects with not snakes. Yuri deals 14 damage to the final Incindiarii, who also fails a tough check. Kobnik Joe activates next and gives For the Motherland to the unit of Winterguard infantrymen, which gives them +2 to hit on their attack rolls. He then takes a hand cannon shot at the Incindiarii and hits. At dice -3, the shot does 4 damage to the Incindiarii. The Winterguard infantry are up next, and the knockdown Grunt sacks his action to be able to advance. The rest of the unit moves up a full advance of 6 inches as well. The infantry leader targets an Arcuarii and is outside of Irusk's feet, but still gets +2 to hit from Joe's For the Motherland. The shot connects and deals 5 damage to the Arcuarii, who is not tough. The next soldier takes a shot at an Arcuarii and hits, dealing 6 damage, which triggers a tough check. The Arcuarii toughs and is knocked down. The next infantryman takes a shot at the knockdown Arcuarii. Needing not snakes to hit, the shot connects, and at dice off 3, the Arcuarii takes 1 damage and is killed. The damaged Incindiarii takes the next shot, which hits. 5 damage is dealt, and the Incindiarii fails his tough check. Next up is another infantryman who shoots at an Arcuarii. Needing not snakes to hit, the shot connects and deals 5 damage to an Arcuarii who fails his tough check. The Winterguard Rocketeer takes a shot at the last remaining Arcuarii. The shot directly hits, so a brutal damage roll deals 8 damage. The Arcuarii toughs. The next Rocketeer takes a shot at the knockdown Arcuarii and deals 8 damage. Since the Arcuarii was already knocked down, he cannot make a tough roll. The final Rocketeer takes a shot at the Basilisk Krea, who is sitting fully in the rubble, so she gets +2 def. The shot connects with a 9, and at dice -4, deals 4 damage to the 5. Needing boxcars to do a point of damage to the Incindiarii, both blast hits do nothing. The Winter Guard then take their 3-inch reposition. Since Yuri the Axe is on the field, this Lady Huntress also gains Tree Walker and is able to charge the Krea. Needing a 3 to hit, the swing barely connects. The Weapon Master charge swing deals damage at dice -3, dealing 8 damage to the Krea. The second initial hits on a 6, dealing 10 damage to the 3, killing the Krea. The Kovnik activates next and runs up next to his Iron Fang friends. Conquest stands still for the aim bonus. He fires a shot, boosting, needing a 4 to hit at the Bronzeback Titan, and connects. Conquest then boosts the damage at dice -4 and deals 6 damage to the 4. He boosts the blast damage on Xerxis, but at dice -10 does nothing. Dice -11 blast damage on the Gladiator also bounces. The Conquest then puts up 2 Creeping Barrage templates, one on top of the Cetrati and the Iron Fang Pikeman, and one on the Incindiarii, forcing him to move if he does not want to take a POW 10. The Conquest is the only piece that scores, and he scores in the bottom rectangular zone. One Iron Fang Pikeman is outside of the center zone, and Irusk failed to be far enough to score the center zone as well. This misstep puts Khador on the lead, but only by 1. Khador started off this turn by losing 3 Winter Guard infantrymen and 1 Widowmaker to fire. The Skorne side took a hit this turn, losing the Krea and taking some damage on the Bronzeback. 3 Cetrati, a full unit of Incindiarii, 1 additional Incindiarii, and a full unit of Arcuarii all died this turn. Let's see if the Skorne side is able to rally and hit Khador back just as hard. Skorne, turn 3. Xerxis pulls in all fury and upkeeps Defender's Ward. The Gladiator rushes himself and decides to trample forward towards the proxy base. His trample movement takes him across the Creeping Barrage template, but he suffers no damage. The Gladiator boosts to hit on the first Pikeman trampled, and connects. This Pikeman is not in shield wall, and at dice -2, is forced to make a tough check, which he passes. Needing a 6 to hit, the second trample connects. Even though this Pikeman is in shield wall, he still takes 2 damage. Thanks to Irusk's feat, he's tough on a 4. Needing a 6 to hit the third Pikeman, the Gladiator misses. The fourth Pikeman is hit by the trample, and at dice off 6, he triggers a tough check, which is made again. Rolled off camera, the Gladiator connects with his final trample. The Gladiator is able to break armor, but the Pikemen are too damn tough.
Unbelievable! Yeah, oh, I've only made this much! Only! Oh, tough is so balanced! Go oh my god, I'm so mad!
Xerxis activates and feats, hoping to clean up the mess that the Gladiator started. Xerxis' feat, Total Annihilation, gives all friendly faction models in his control range an additional die on their melee damage rolls. Friendly faction models that are base to base with another friendly faction model, and also in Xerxis' control range, get +2 arm as well. Needing a 4 to hit the first Pikeman, Xerxis rolls 2 1s, which does not equal 4. However, his second initial connects. Since Xerxis is a warrior in the Masters of War theme, there is no tough check to be made. Xerxis overtakes towards the remaining Pikeman and buys another attack. The swing connects and kills the Pikeman. Xerxis overtakes and enters the Creeping Barrage template, but at dice op 8 takes no damage. Buying an attack, it connects with a 5, and deals 2 damage to this Pikeman, who dies. Continuing his killing spree, Xerxis overtakes again, and hits. At dice off 4, the Pikeman is slain.
Xerxis then overtakes back an inch and gives push to the limit to the remaining Cetrati.
The Tyrant Commander and Standard Bearer activate next and give themselves the March order. The Commander charges the Pikeman, and the Standard Bearer charges Yuri the Axe. Needing a 4 to hit the lone Pikeman, the Commander's swing connects. The Pikeman evaporates. The Standard Bearer takes a swing at Yuri, but at only mat 6, he misses. The Legends of Halaak see that Yuri needs to die, and all 3 members charge the Axeman. The leader's charge connects, and at dice -5, deals enough damage to kill Yuri. Again, no tough check is able to be made, thanks to the Masters of War theme. The Cetrati activate next, shield wall, and charge the unit of remaining pikemen. Needing a 5 to hit, the first charge swing connects. At dice -7 for damage, the pikeman is killed. Tyrant Vorkesh takes a swing at the Iron Fang pikeman officer and connects. At dice -5, the officer is killed outright. Vorkesh then takes his cleave swing into the pikeman leader and hits. At dice -5 for damage, Vorkesh is able to kill the pikeman leader. The next Cetrati trooper misses his swing on a pikeman. The final charging Cetrati swings at the Iron Fang Kovnik. The charge swing connects, and the Kovnik crumbles. The Willbreaker attempts to cast Influence on the Winterguard infantry leader. The spell connects, and the leader is forced to swing on her own Rocketeer. Needing a 7, the Rocketeer is hit by his own infantry leader. At dice -5, the Rocketeer is slain, but he toughs. The remaining Incindiarii activate, 2 charge Winterguard infantrymen, and 1 rotates to take a swing at the Lady Hunter. The Lady Hunter is not hit by the first Incindiarii. The Incindiarii that charged an infantryman hits, and deals far more damage than the infantryman has armor. The final charging Incindiarii rolls double 1s and misses the infantryman. The Bronzeback riles and runs, and ends his activation between Xerxis and the Conquest. Skorne is still down 0-1 in control points. Khador lost 2 important solos in the Iron Fang Kovnik and Yuri the Axe this turn. 1 Winterguard infantryman, 7 Iron Fang pikemen, and the Iron Fang pikeman officer were all killed this turn as well. Khador, turn 3. Irusk upkeeps superiority and allocates 2 focus to the Conquest. Kovnik Joe gives +2 to hit to the Winterguard. He advances over and takes a shot at the Willbreaker. Needing an 8 to hit, Joe's hand cannon aim holds true. At dice off 1 for damage, the shot kills the Willbreaker. The Winterguard advance up and use their Grape Shot mini-feat. Their blunderbusses lose combined range and gain gunfighter, and the range becomes spray 6 instead of range 8. 1 Winterguard catches 2 Incindiarii in his spray, hitting the first. At dice -3, the Incindiarii is killed, and the tough check is failed. Needing a 4, the second Incindiarii caught in the spray is hit. At dice off 3, the Incindiarii suffers 4 damage. Another Winterguard takes his Grape Shot spray at the injured Incindiarii. Needing a 4 to hit, the shot connects with a 6. 4 damage is dealt to the Incindiarii, who is not tough. Another Winterguard takes a shot at the Incindiarii, engaged with the Lady Hunter. The shot connects with a 10 and deals 5 damage. This Incindiarii is tough. The next Winterguard sprays the knockdown Incindiarii. Enough damage is dealt and a tough check cannot be made. The Bronzeback is just towed out of the forest, so the first Rocketeer shot hits. At dice -7, no damage is dealt. Lining up a shot at the Bronzeback, the second Rocketeer hits with a 3. The rocket bounces off the Bronzeback's armor. The last Rocketeer in the unit shoots at the same Bronzeback. The shot connects, this time dealing 2 damage to the 1. The Winterguard then spread out a bit thanks to reposition. The Widowmakers stand still for aim bonus. Needing a 5, the shot on Jadeth connects. 3 damage is dealt to the Legend. The next Widowmaker takes a shot at Jadeth as well, needing a 5 to hit. The shot connects. At dice -5, 1 damage is dealt. The final remaining Widowmaker takes a shot at Jadeth, which hits. He deals 1 point of sniper damage, killing Jadeth. Irusk activates next and stands still for aim bonus. Irusk then takes a shot at the Bronzeback. Needing not snakes, the shot connects. Irusk boosts the damage, but is not able to crack the armor of the Bronzeback. Irusk then reloads and takes a second shot at the Bronzeback, which hits. Boosting damage again, he deals 4 to the 5. Irusk then takes his Special Order Repo 3 to get out of charge range. The Conquest then advances forward and takes a swing on the Bronzeback. The first swing connects with not snakes. At dice +4, the Bronzeback takes 10 to the 5. The second initial connects as well. Still dice +4 for damage, the Bronzeback takes 10 damage to the 4. Buying an attack, the Conquest misses on double ones. Buying another attack, the swing hits. The Conquest deals 13 to the 5, killing the Bronzeback. Xerxis does not collect the Fury. The Conquest spends his last focus to buy a swing at a Cetrati. Needing a 5 to hit, the punch swings true. At dice +1, the Cetrati takes 12 damage. His tough check is failed. The remaining pikemen receive the shield wall order and advance up a little bit. The first pikeman takes a swing at a Cetrati. Needing a 6, the swing connects. At dice -9, no damage is dealt. The last two pikemen do a combined melee attack on Vorkesh. The combined attack hits its target. At dice -7, no damage is dealt to Vorkesh. This completes Khador, turn 3. The Conquest scored the bottommost rectangular zone this turn, bringing Khador up to 2 CP. The Skorne force suffered some heavy losses this turn, losing the Bronzeback, the Mortitheurge Willbreaker, and an additional Cetrati. The second min unit of Incindiarii was wiped out, along with Jadeth from the Legends of Halaak. Skorne, turn 4. Xerxis reaves to full and upkeeps Defender's Ward. The remaining legends charge the remaining Widowmakers. CIdaar swings first, needing a 6 to hit. The charge swing connects and the Widowmaker dies. Valgesh then takes his charge swing on a Widowmaker and connects. Even triple ones would kill the Widowmaker, so we don't bother rolling. Valgesh then takes his second Weapon Master swing at the remaining Widowmaker, hits, and kills him. The Gladiator is forced to run into the forest to contest the zone. The Standard Bearer is so scared that he snaps his flag. The Commander puts March on his own unit and charges the pikemen. Broken Stick Boy huddles close for moral support. The charging Weapon Master connects and deals more than enough damage to kill the pikemen. Xerxis contemplates his best course of action, but ultimately just runs up towards the top rectangular zone. The remaining Cetrati activate, shield wall, and Vorkesh takes a swing on the frontmost pikeman. Needing a 4, the swing crashes home. At dice -5, the pikeman is decimated. Vorkesh then takes his cleave swing into another pikeman, which hits. The pikeman takes 1 damage and dies. A Cetrati takes a swing at the last pikeman, but misses. The last Cetrati hits the last pikeman, and at dice +7, wipes out the unit. The Gladiator scores the top rectangle, Conquest scores the bottom rectangle, and no one scores the center, making it Skorne 1, Khador 3. The Legends of Halaak were able to kill the entire Widowmaker unit, and the final pikeman and pikeman standard were killed by Cetrati. Khador, turn 4. Irusk upkeeps superiority again and divvies out 2 focus to the Conquest. Kobnik Joe activates first this turn and gives 4 the Motherland to the Winterguard infantry. Joe then takes a shot at a Cetrati he can barely see past the woods. Needing a 7, the hand cannon misses. The remaining Winterguard infantry advance towards the center zone. A Rocketeer lines up a shot at the Tyrant Commander. Needing a 5 to hit, the rocket slams home. The rocket is AoE 3, which clips the Commander and his Standard Bearer. At dice -4, the Commander takes 3 damage. The blast damage is dice -8, and the Standard Bearer suffers 2 damage. The Rocketeer in the forest fires his shot at the Tyrant as well. Needing a 5, the rocket hits its target. The Commander takes another 2 damage. The blast clips the standard bearer again, but he takes no damage. The Winter Guard then reposition 3 inches, ending their activation. The Conquest advances forward towards the Cetrati. He takes his first initial at the Cetrati in the middle. Needing a 5 to hit, the swing connects. At dice +1, the Conquest deals 7 damage to the Cetrati. The Cetrati is not tough. The Conquest then takes his second initial on Tyrant Vorkesh. The punch connects, and at dice +5, deals 7 damage to the Tyrant. The Conquest buys a swing and misses with a 4. The Conquest buys another swing, and this time he hits. Any damage would cause a tough check, so Vorkesh rolls, and he's tough. The Conquest spends his last focus for one final melee attack. He hits with an 8, and ends up dealing 11 damage to Vorkesh, who this time fails his tough check. Irusk activates next, puts March up on himself, and advances into the zone. He then casts Inhospitable Ground, and ends his activation. The Lady Huntress runs into the circular zone as well. Xerxis scores the top zone, and Irusk scores the bottom zone. This makes the score 2-4 in the favor of Khador. The Tyrant Commander and Standard Bearer took some damage this turn. Skorne lost 1 Cetrati, and Tyrant Vorkesh was also killed. Skorne, turn 5. Xerxis reaves up to full, and drops Defender's Ward. Xerxis then activates first this turn, walks into the zone, rushes the Gladiator, and camps 3. The last Cetrati standing advances over to the Conquest, and hits on anything but double 1s. At dice -9 for damage, no damage is dealt to the Conquest. The commander gives his own unit push to the limit, and walks over to smack the Lady Huntress. Needing a 6 to hit, the spear connects. At dice -2, the commander deals 6 damage to the Lady Hunter, who dies. The Gladiator activates next, and charges the Conquest. Needing a 3 to connect, the charge swing hits. At dice -4, the Gladiator deals 7 damage to the left side, column 1. The second initial fist hits, but deals no damage to the Conquest. The Gladiator's tusks connect, and end up doing 2 damage to the 6. The Gladiator buys a swing with his fists, connects, but deals no damage to the Conquest. The Gladiator buys another swing, which connects. This swing deals 7 damage to the 5. The Gladiator is forced one last time to buy a swing on the Conquest. This fist hits, but at dice -4, bounces. The 2 remaining legends charge the Conquest as well. Valgesh decides to combo strike, which hits. At dice -8, the charging Weapon Master deals 2 damage. CIdaar takes his charge swing next, which hits. The damage is dice -9, and he deals 8 damage to the 1. The top zone is scored by Xerxis again, and the bottom zone is scored by Irusk. This means the CP is 3-5, still in Khador's favor. After losing a few key pieces in the previous turns, the Skorne force was only able to kill a Manhunter and deal about half the health of the Conquest. Khador, turn 5. Irusk upkeeps superiority yet again, and gives out 2 focus to the Conquest. Irusk is the first to activate then, and he takes a sword cannon shot at the commander. Needing a 4, the shot hits home. Irusk boosts the damage, and at dice -3, causes 8 damage to the commander. The commander fails his tough check. Joe activates next and gives For the Motherland to the remaining Winter Guard. The Winter Guard are up and advance towards the circular zone. One Rocketeer that advanced takes a shot at the back of the Gladiator. Needing a 5 to hit, the AoE misses and deviates 5 inches to the 4. The scatter does not clip anyone. The second Rocketeer that advanced also takes a shot at the back of the Gladiator. The shot misses and deviates 3 inches to the 3. The blast clips only the Conquest and is not able to hurt it. The final Rocketeer stood still for aim bonus, and his AoE connects. At dice -7, he deals 2 damage to the 6. The Conquest activates next and eyes up the Gladiator. The Conquest's first initial connects. At dice +4, he deals 8 damage to the 2. The second initial from the Conquest hits as well, and deals 7 damage to the 3. The Conquest then buys an attack, hits, and deals 11 damage to the 5. Focus is then spent to buy another swing, which hits, dealing 7 damage, killing the Gladiator. Xerxis takes as much fury from the dead beast as he is able to hold. The Conquest then spends his last focus to buy a swing on Valgesh. Needing a 6, the punch connects. At dice +8, Valgesh takes 15 damage, which kills the legend. The scoring for this turn is similar to the last, with Skorne scoring 1 for the top rectangular zone, and Khador scoring 1 for the bottom rectangular zone. Skorne goes up to 4 CP, Khador goes up to 6. The Khadorian side was able to slay the Gladiator, the Commander, and Valgesh from the Legends of Halaak this turn. Let's see if Xerxis can pull out some tricks, since there's a very scary Conquest still on the board. Skorne, turn 6. Xerxis reaves up to 5 thanks to Spirit Bond. The Standard Bearer spins around and walks up to the Conquest. He swings with his broken flag and hits. At dice -11, no damage is dealt. The only remaining legend walks up to the Conquest as well. CIdaar hits with a 5 and deals 2 damage to the 4. A lone Cetrati walks up to the right side of the Conquest and swings. His swing connects, and at dice -9, he deals 5 damage to the 3. Xerxis casts Defender's Ward on himself, and then advances 7 inches away, like a small baby. Both sides gain 1 CP this turn, making the score 5 for Skorne and 7 for Khador. A small amount of damage was dealt to the Conquest this turn, and if Xerxis' retreat is any indication, this will not be enough for the Skorne force. Khador, turn 6. Irusk upkeeps superiority and gives 2 to Conquest. Irusk then activates, advances over, gives March to the Winter Guard infantry unit, and finally casts Inhospitable Ground. The Conquest shimmies forward and swings at CIdaar. Needing a 6, the punch hits. At dice +8, CIdaar takes 16 damage and dies. The Conquest takes his second initial at the last Cetrati. The swing connects, and at dice +7, triggers a tough check. This Cetrati is tough. Vorkesh brought tactics steady, so the Cetrati is not knocked down. Conquest buys a swing and hits, and at dice +8, triggers a tough check, which is made again. The Conquest buys another swing, and connects with the toughest Cetrati alive. We missed this tough check on camera, but the Cetrati finally dies. The Conquest spends his last focus to take a swing at the Standard Bearer. The fist connects with a 6 and deals 13 damage, killing the broken Standard Bearer. The Winter Guard activate and run to contest the far zone. Khador scores 2 at the end of this turn and will score 2 next turn, so Skorne concedes. Technically, Khador won this game 11-5 on scenario. A big thanks to everyone who tuned in to this second battle report. If you have suggestions for a specific faction or matchup that you'd like to see us play, please leave a comment below. Thanks again!